Hi and ciao, buongiorno to all my Italian friends watching this video. Today I talk about 5 common photography lies and the truth behind them.
My name is Benjamin Jaworskyj, photographer and adventurer. 10 years ago, I started to teach myself photography. Today, I travel the world as a professional photographer and filmmaker. Learn from my experiences, mistakes and tips and join me on my photography adventures.
Maybe you already heard about the photography lies or rumors or urban myth that like every photographer talks about. And I want to tell the truth from my opinion about that. So let's start with the first lie. Number 1 is that you have to shoot in a RAW format, and I would say it's one of the biggest photography lies out there, because you don't have to shoot in a RAW format. You can do, and there are some advantages in shooting RAW, but there are as well a lot of disadvantages, especially for beginners, because you have to edit all the photos. The files are usually a bit bigger, and I heard from many people going on vacation or after a wedding or after Christmas or anything, and they took a lot of images from the family just with the card and just started to photograph, and they said, I did everything in RAW because I heard from everybody RAW is better, and how can I open the files now? How does it work? Yeah, and that's the thing. You have to open them in a special program, an image editing program. You have to convert them into JPEG afterwards. So if you don't have like a plan shot, or if you don't want to actually want to edit your photos, then it's totally fine to shoot just JPEG. I do it myself as well. So when I just go like on a trip or just hang out somewhere and I just want some snapshots like with my cell phone or anything, then I just do JPEG. But when I want some nice landscape shots and I wait there for hours till I get the right light, then of course I take RAW. I have more information in the image, but then I have to edit all the photos. When you compare a RAW image to a JPEG image, the JPEG will in most of the cases always look better. Number 2 is the UV filter. Maybe you have some UV filters yourself. Those are those screw-on glass filters you put in front of your lens. And here in Germany, when you go to a salesperson in an electronic superstore or anything, and you want to buy a lens or you want to buy a new camera, what they always want to sell you is that stupid UV filter. And from a physical point of view, you don't need that thing in digital photography anymore. The only thing you need it for is maybe for protection. But what I see in most of the situations, I would say 99% is a dirty UV filter in front of a great expensive lens, and the worst case scenario is a cheap UV filter like from Amazon, €5 UV filter in front of an expensive lens. And what happens there is you just put glass over already great glass, and then you get loss of quality in front of your thing. And then even more stupid is to put an ND filter in front of the UV filter, and then maybe some more polarizer in front of the ND filter and the UV filter. So what do you want with the UV filter? Just leave it away. The only situation I would use that glass filter is in 1% of photography, maybe some action shots of motocross or anything where dirt or stones might fly on the lens of the camera. When you want protection, I can always say just take your lens hood, put it the right way around, not the wrong way around, the right way around, and then you can even hit your lens on a wall or something and nothing will happen because it will just hit the hood and not your lens. But save yourself some money on an UV filter. Number 3 is that you always have to shoot ISO 100, and how many misunderstandings are right out there in the world with digital photographers about ISO. ISO is a great thing, and you can shoot whatever ISO you want. In most of the cameras till ISO 800 it's no problem. On full frame cameras even till ISO 6400 or at least 3200 it's not a problem. It's like you can say a boost in your camera, and I always say better have a photo than not have a photo, so better have a grainy high ISO photo but have a sharp shot than having a blurry shot because you wanted to take ISO 100 photo, but then your shutter speed is maybe too slow and everything is blurry or even too dark and you want to pull the exposure up afterwards and everything gets even more noisy. So don't be afraid of the ISO. I will do a Milky Way video, how to photograph the Milky Way, in the next weeks, and there it's totally ISO craziness. And so yeah, just shoot on whatever ISO you want. You can of course shoot on ISO 100 and you will have a very good quality on 100, but between 100, 200 and 400 there's like no difference at all, and on most of the cameras, as mentioned, ISO 800 is a great thing. So better fast shutter speed, better sharp image than have a blurry or too dark or whatever image. Number 4, an expensive camera makes you a better photographer. So true. Not, because a camera itself is just a tool and you have to have skills to use the tool. For example, if you can hammer with a hammer a nail in the wall and you have the skill of great hammering, then you might as well put the nail with a screwdriver in the wall, because you just have the skill, you know how it works, how you have to hit the nail and everything. And the same is with photography. If you are good on an inexpensive camera, on a beginner camera, then you might be good as well on a pro camera. But if you are shitty on a cheap camera, you will be shitty on an expensive camera. So it's just like that easy. As well, the camera is not the most important thing, and I will do a video about that, a comparison video in the future, where I talk about lens versus camera. And what I can say now, and I will prove in the video, is that the lens is more important than the camera in photography. And the person behind both of it is the most important thing. And the last lie is that super zoom lenses are a great deal, and they are totally not. And I can just tell you, don't buy yourself such a super zoom lens. At first it might be attractive, not too expensive, you have a great range from 18 till 300 millimeter or even more, but when you then use it in the field, you don't have a great image quality. But let's just put it aside. The most problem I see in those lenses, especially for beginners, that they are complicated to use, because the aperture is changing when you're zooming. So you start maybe from 3.5 and then just zoom in and are on 6.3. What it means, you have like this hole in your camera, so the aperture, and then you zoom and you have like this hole, so less light gets on the sensor and you get a darker images. As well, the shutter speed perspective. You have 18 millimeters and can use something around a 20th of a shutter speed with 18 millimeters. But when you are on 300 millimeters, you need something around the 300ths of a second, so much faster. So when you are in a situation out there, you just like click, 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 you have all the settings, and then you zoom, your image gets darker, and as well your image gets blurry because you don't have the right settings put in the first place when you photograph manually. So I like zoom lenses, 16 to 35, 24 to 70, 24 to 105 maybe, whatever. They are great fixed open aperture lenses as well, like 18 to 35, 1.8. Those are great lenses, but try to avoid the 18 to 300 or even more with not a fixed aperture. They will get you a lot of pain in the ass. Those were 5 photography lies. I want your opinion on them. Maybe you say one of the lies is my personal truth or something, then just write it in the comments below. And if you have any topic I should talk about in the upcoming videos, we film plenty of videos right now, then as well give a suggestion in the comments below. And now some quick commercial. Check out learnfromben.com. This is my website, and we will do some more blog posts there in the future, and we have 3 downloads there, video downloads. You can learn about landscape photography, about Lightroom, about image editing of landscape photos. So great courses, great quality, and of course a great learning fun factor there. So check it out, learnfromben.com. And see you on the next video. Arrivederci, ciao ciao, and goodbye.